It happens with deadly regularity. Workers enter confined spaces without taking proper precautions. They have not determined if the atmosphere is flammable. They do not know if conditions in the space can support life. They fail to take proper safety precautions. They fall victims to explosions and fires. Become asphyxiated by lack of breathable air. Are overcome by toxic materials, or are severely harmed by any of a number of other hazards. Fellow workers or other would-be rescuers race to the victim's aid.
Hey, bud, are you all right? Bud.
Equally unprepared to deal with the dangers of the space, they also become victims. There are thousands of such incidents on record. Personnel working in confined spaces confront significant risks of death or injury. Untrained rescuers regularly rush in without regard to their own safety. When multiple deaths occur at confined space incidents, the majority of the victims in each event die while trying to rescue the original entrant. In fact, would-be rescuers account for more than half of the confined space fatalities.
Okay, let's go out. Slow. Going out.
Government studies indicate that each year in recent experience, there have been more than 60 deaths and 12,000 injuries in confined space incidents. This is the first program in a series called Confined Space Emergency and is titled Understanding Confined Spaces. The programs in the series are designed to provide training and assistance for personnel who may respond to confined space incidents, as well as for those who supervise or carry out confined space work. It is estimated that facilities in almost every kind of industry have confined spaces. More than 1.5 million workers enter these spaces each year for the purposes of maintenance, repairs, installations, inspections, and meter reading. Despite mandated improvements in confined space entry procedures, accidents still occur.
Hey, can you hear me? You okay?
Supervisors may fail to see that employees comply with the organization's procedures for safe entry. Conditions may arise that were unanticipated during the preparation of the permit. Hazards may appear suddenly and without warning, or a space may be entered where the participants are unaware of or unwilling to comply with mandated procedures. When an accident occurs, properly trained attendants and emergency teams can respond quickly and safely. However, rescuers must not enter the space unless they are trained and equipped to do so, and have taken appropriate precautions. This is the second program in a series called Confined Space Emergency and is entitled Confined Space and the First Responder. The program is designed to provide training for those who work as attendants in confined space entry, as well as fire and rescue units who may be first on the scene of a confined space emergency. The attendant is an important part of the team during an entry into a permit confined space and will typically be the first person to respond in the event of an emergency. However, a person serving as attendant should not enter the confined space for rescue or any other reason unless trained and equipped to enter the space and properly relieved by a person qualified to act as attendant. The attendant's responsibilities are to provide for constant communication with entrants and to keep the opening clear of debris and materials that might drop on entrance or may hamper quick egress. Most importantly, the attendant remains alert for hazards that might manifest themselves inside or outside the confined space, and orders an evacuation of entrance when necessary. An analysis of confined space emergencies by the U.S. Occupational Health and Safety Administration discovered that impromptu, unplanned rescue efforts in confined spaces were largely unsuccessful and often resulted in fatalities. In fact, more than half of the victims in confined space emergencies are would-be rescuers.
Subsequently, OSHA issued a confined space standard that requires an emergency response plan be in place before workers are assigned to enter permit confined spaces. There may be an in-plant rescue team ready to respond, or arrangements may be made with outside rescue teams from local fire departments or other emergency services. Employers must evaluate the rescue team to determine if it is adequately trained and equipped to perform confined space rescues of the kind needed at the facility, and that the team can respond in a timely manner.
This is the third program in a series called Confined Space Emergency and is entitled Confined Space Technical Rescue. The program is designed to provide training for rescue services who may be called upon to carry out technical rescue from confined spaces.
NFPA 1006, Standard for Rescue Technician Professional Qualifications, provides job performance requirements for confined space rescue technicians. Technicians must be able to pre-plan an incident, so a safe standard approach is used during a rescue. Assess the incident so that the area and space-specific hazards can be identified. Carry out air monitoring of the environment in the space. Control hazards in the space to protect rescuers. Safely enter a confined space. Provide initial care and package the victim for removal. Remove all entrants from the space and secure the space so that further entry is denied.
Technical rescue teams may encounter victims in a wide array of possible scenarios. Workers may enter fixed storage tanks for tank cleaning or to perform maintenance and repair work, for tank gauging, or to inspect for corrosion. Personnel enter mobile tank trucks or rail cars to clean and inspect the inside prior to switch loading to another product. Process vessels used in petroleum refining or chemical processing, some of which may be in elevated locations, are entered during plant turnarounds for cleaning and inspection.